guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kayla here with Ode to a Boat. Today I want to talk to you guys all about how I homeschool, specifically how we afford to homeschool. Let's get into it. So one thing that I hear from a lot of my friends here locally is we wish we could homeschool, but we just can't afford it. Typically, they mean that in their family, both parents have to work full time. So I just want to make this statement right away. I don't work full time. I do know that it's possible to homeschool even while working full time because I've seen other people do it. But if that's what you're looking for, if you want to homeschool your children while having a full-time job, I might not be the best resource for you. Maybe I can point you to someone who has done it successfully. I'd love to be able to help. I have, however, worked part-time off and on since having my children and while homeschooling. I just want to say that if you are a mom or a dad who's trying to juggle your career, your job, your source of income with being able to homeschool your kids, my heart goes out to you because it's a lot. For us personally, we are a one-income family. My husband works Monday through Friday full time, and he's the main breadwinner, as it were, for our family. This hasn't always been the case. I have worked part-time off and on, so many jobs, I can't even tell you. But as of right now, homeschooling and homemaking is my full-time occupation. It doesn't pay in cash. So, how do we afford to do this? Well, there's a few things that I want to talk to you guys about. When you're thinking about homeschooling, please know that the only guaranteed big expense required to homeschool is your time, hands down. Does that mean that curriculum and resources are cheap? No, not necessarily. Curriculum and resources can have a huge range of prices, and some of it can be quite expensive. But none of it is necessary. The only thing that's necessary that you can't get around is your time. You're going to invest time in your homeschool, looking for your homeschool community, researching your homeschool methodology, researching or pricing curriculum and resources. Even if you're an unschooler and you don't buy any formal curriculum, you're still going to invest time. Whatever that priority is for your family, for your homeschool journey, it's going to take time. So that's the first thing. Always know that your main expense in homeschooling is going to be time. And that's the only one that's absolutely necessary. So secondly, I also want to tell you guys, please don't feel guilty or compare yourself with families who seemingly have all the money in the world to invest in their homeschool. It is very easy, especially on YouTube or on Instagram, to find parents who have these beautiful schoolrooms that are full of Montessori-inspired shelves packed to the brim with these gorgeous wooden manipulatives and toys, tons of books, lots of amazing curriculum. And you might start to feel like you'll never measure up. You could never afford all of those things for your children. And so therefore, the education that you're giving your children is somehow less valuable than the education that they're giving theirs. Please stop that thought in its tracks. No matter how many manipulatives or books or wooden toys that they have at their disposal, no matter how many online programs you can afford to enroll them in or subscription boxes you can sign up and have delivered at your door, your time is always going to be the most valuable to your kids. Stop the comparison game. It is the thief of joy. I also want you to know that there are resources for every single budget. You can homeschool for free. You can. It's going to take a little bit more time. You might have to dig and research a little bit harder, but I promise you it is possible. Your number one free resource as a homeschooler is your local library. And your second awesome free resource that everyone has is the internet. With the library and the internet, you can learn almost anything for free. You can find free printables, listen to free audiobooks. There's YouTube videos and tutorials on almost any school subject you can think of. And you can also purchase secondhand curriculum as well. Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, Craigslist, and especially eBay are great places to look for secondhand curriculum if you really want to try something but you can't afford the full price. Don't let your limited budget hold you back from homeschooling. Where there's a will, there's a way. It might be that, like my family, you sacrifice that second income, or it might be you sacrifice a lot of your time. If you are balancing a job with homeschooling, that's going to leave you very little time for self-care, for your hobbies, your interests, and things that you're passionate about. And that might be a sacrifice that you're willing to make. In my case, we make financial sacrifices. We live in a very modest, small, affordable home. We have a tight budget, and that means that I can't buy all the curriculum and beautiful things for homeschooling that I see on the gram. I love home decor, for example, and I have to be very careful. Sometimes I have to decide, do I want that really pretty home decor object, or do I want these really cool books for our homeschool? Neither of these things is necessary, but sometimes I can only choose one. When I was working part-time, it was extremely difficult for me to manage my time and my energy and be able to give my kids what I personally wanted to give to them in our homeschool. But we did manage to learn a lot of things and to accomplish a lot in our homeschool, even when I was working part-time. And by part-time, I mean I was working about 35 hours a week at Starbucks. And it's a very physically taxing job. So there were days when I would come home completely mentally and physically exhausted from being on my feet all day and managing my team and dealing with customers, sometimes angry customers. And my daughter would be there waiting for me saying, "Mom, can we please do math?" Because that's the kind of kids that I have. They beg to do math. I'd have to sit down and, okay, let's do a math lesson, even though I can barely see straight. I'm so tired. I imagine that that would be even more difficult if you're working more than 40 hours a week. All of that being said, I personally feel like the sacrifices are worth it. I get to cherish my kids' childhood, that special time that only will happen once in their life. I get to make memories with them every day, watch their eyes light up as they learn something new. I get to help them research and answer their questions as they come. I get to play games with my kids, cook with my kids, go for walks with my kids. And maybe we can't afford the fancy, lavish vacation every year, but we get to spend so much time together. And that's something I will never regret. Homeschooling might not be the best viable option for your family. Maybe it's for financial reasons. That's okay. It's not for everyone. But if in your heart you really want to homeschool, you really feel like that is the best choice for your family, and the only obstacle that's making you doubt that is the financial situation, please know that that obstacle can be overcome. Homeschooling can be affordable. Homeschooling can be free. Don't compare yourself to others. Just do what you can. Stick to a budget. We use a large portion of our income tax return every year and set that aside for the curriculum, books, resources that we're going to need the following school year. You may also have a monthly allowance for homeschooling resources, curriculum, supplies. Maybe you have $50 or $100 a month that you can put aside just for your homeschool. You might also live in a state where there's charter funds or funding offered for homeschool families. So definitely look into that. They usually have some requirements that you have to meet. It might be worth it for your family. All right, guys, I really want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments how you afford to homeschool, or if money is holding you back from diving into homeschooling. I want to know. If you have any questions for me about how we homeschool, what our budget is, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos all about homeschooling and homemaking, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. I hope to get to know you in the comments. I will see you guys in the next video.